Nigerian restaurant business is kind of very overpopulated, and people are very selective. Like somebody like me, I know that this food outside the country is very expensive. Do you understand? So I'm not gonna carry my own money as a whole to me and go to a restaurant that I know that the taste is not sound, is not tasting Nigerian. You understand? I'll carry it this way. So that way I have a specific Nigerian restaurant I buy from. They know I'm their customer. Sometimes if I do transfer, I go. They say, okay, don't worry, when it comes, just take the food and go. Usual customer on here. You understand? Whereas we have other Nigerian restaurants here that, and me, I know this. Anybody that can be my vendor, like I'm their customer, the person I've just, there's no place I've gone to buy something that they don't know me, like they don't recognize me. Like when I went to get this hair, I just got to the shop. Then I just got to the shop. Hey, where have you been? Can you come? I just started selecting the hair. So this hair initially it was curved part. I was like, nah, I don't like curve. Come by me, she says straight, con gay, lazy. I just put it. Do you know how much they said this hair? Wait, I just want to show you people one thing, right? You can see he's bone straight, right? So I started English start doing it. Then I pick other hairs as well that let them start adjusting it. You know, they will tint it, they will adjust the lace, all those things to your standard and everything. And I've not even paid. But because they know that they don't see me every day in that shop, I don't come every day. But they know that once I come like this, when I buy, the account is gonna shake that I buy, that I bought. Like the last hair I bought for them, I bought 5 hairs from them. And this, so they already know. So even when I come and say pack this here, I just said I they come now and they already know. And aside here, I had other maybe grocery shops or even where I buy food. There's sometimes where I eat regularly. I'll just say, you know, most food they prepare is like when you want to eat. I say, okay, prepare for me smoothie and this one, I'm coming. Sometimes I even take long because they know I'll come back, because they know I'll pay, because they know that I cannot hold them money. Because once I just say hello, this, you know, is speaking, prepare this time on my way. Sometimes it can even take me more than this thing because they know I'll come back. You understand? So what I'm trying to say is vendors that I patronize, when I patronize them, they feel it that this person they patronize. Just I think yesterday I went to fill up my first aid. You know, first aid, because I eat outside. Not there's some first aid medication issue. Just refilling my first aid. The person feel he even dash me one pain reliever, that pain reliever cream. That I dash you. There's no person I'll buy for that. I'll feel like you know that kind of thing. Wait, what's make me to jump inside the story now? Okay, so that's why I was saying that people like us, customers like us, like me, I'm very loyal to my vendor. If I'm buying from the vendor, I buy from the vendor. If I come here, I don't have energy of trying this, unless say maybe if that vendor no gets So that's what I'm now saying. Just like Nigerian restaurant that I made example, like throughout, like I buy from this specific person. So another Nigerian restaurant coming up, tasting their food, I'm like, what is this? The person who even cooked Nigerian jollof rice with basmati. How? And this thing like that. So Nigerian restaurant business, somehow it have cast somehow. Unless you're doing something different from the usual. I'm making a separate video on that. You guys understand what I'm just trying to say, right? Like if you're outside the country, your reach is kind of, let's say, limited compared to, you know, say if you did Nigeria and stuff like that. You understand? So even when I went to buy, the last time I went to buy herb, and I was like, there was one that I saw. They were like, but you should have called. You should have told them to keep it for you. They would have kept it for you. Or this thing. That's level of trust. And you know, there's this ideology about, Nigerians are these, Nigerians are scammers, Nigerians. They're not me Nigerian, right? And they still trust me with money that just want to run on the street or stuff like that, right? So like the Nigerian business is that type of business that you have to beg people to come and buy, and even when people come and buy, there is no substantial reason they should actually keep coming back. Because another thing is, even if you actually run a business that you're telling people, come and buy from me, right? If they buy from you, they should have a reason to even come back. Because every time you cannot be coming on Instagram, come and be begging, hey, my grandfather have this, in fact, those type of posts, woman swipe. Like, who are you trying to use pity parties for? Is it every time you come and saying your dog can please buy for me? You understand? Like, sell because you're selling the quality, and because that's what people want. Not that I have to come and buy this thing because I don't need it, because I'm pitying you. And like, this is not me saying there's nothing bad in pitying people. There are some people that maybe their businesses went through ups and down. There's some business people that I see on Instagram, like if they come and say, hey, look at what, for example, God forbid, let's say, flood carried my market away. There's some people that I know that at these ones they don't sell markets with pity party. Like, I'll be the first to even buy the things I don't need. That one is different. But there's some vendors that all the things that the only thing I know about them is always coming on Instagram to beg somebody to buy from there, or they will come up with one story, or they will say one thing. Or, you understand what I'm trying to say? So this means saying, like, since and beyond, don't go into those type of business that you have to beg people or persuade, or you have to look empathetic, or you have to be going through a lot for people to buy from you. You get the picture. So plantain chips is that business that anybody can buy this thing. But the key thing about plantain chips, like somebody like me that have very high savory taste, about how is it call them? The country I moved to, right? Even after eating, I just like my mouth feel like dancing. Like you know that sometimes I maybe just be scrolling through your phone, or maybe watch a movie and I just want to snack on something. And maybe I'm somebody that I don't really like sugar things or all this popcorn, this I'm not a fan. Right? I want to eat something that you understand, Queen. Or sometimes maybe when you wake up early, you don't even know what to eat. At least you are cooking con snack con, you understand. I was thinking for plantain chips. Nobody had plantain chips in the whole of this country that I am. But she wanted the wine mini. I was like, let me make it myself. Or this thing. Only for me to now search banana chips. That's why I see this person doing banana chips. This person used banana to make the chips. But guy, if you taste it, if you close your eyes, because if you do banana chips, if you look at it, you know this is banana, right? You know, plantain chips is very crispy, very thin, like when you cut very thin. But the banana woman in that yellow color, right? So if you close your eyes and somebody give you to eat and say, what did you eat? You say banana, you say plantain chips. It tastes exactly like plantain chips, and not just plantain chips, Nigerian plantain chips. Tastes exactly like Nigerian plantain. Like, it was so crispy. Like, I was surprised. Like, this is banana. You know, say banana get water content.